What's going on, everybody? It's EricRayweather back here with some huge 2K21 news. They just dropped a complete bomb on us this morning. I'm going to let you guys check out this full 2-minute trailer, which is pretty dope, and then come back here and we're going to deep dive into all the specifics you need to know from the blog itself. Looks like 2K21 on next gen is doing big things. The neighborhood is no more. They said it was gone. Now they're introducing an entire city. Check out the trailer. So as you can see, 2K is doing some big things on next gen. And I know a lot of you here are here because this is predominantly a Madden channel, but we've been kind of switching things up a little bit, talking about other things. 2K is the other big sports game in the market, and they're always ahead of Madden, you know, even though they've had their own problems over the last, console generation. Just in terms of the things they bring to the table, they are really far ahead of Madden. Madden just brought the yard this year, a very bare bones version of what 2K has going on. Now they have an entire city, like this entire, it was already an open world with the neighborhood, I guess you could say, but like making that even bigger now. I think this looks pretty dope. Here in the blog, they talk about how in 2K14 going to next gen, they wanted to introduce new things and change the game, and that's when they brought the park into the fold. The vision was to create a competitive online basketball environment that allowed the community to grow and 2K fans to compete against each other outside of the authentic NBA experience. And then over the years, it evolved and expanded, and then it became the neighborhood, which, I'll be honest, I've never been a fan of how the neighborhood works in terms of like waiting for games and stuff like that, but the concept of it was always cool. Hopefully with the city, maybe they've cleaned some stuff up with that. But now let's talk about what the city is. It says, here is the city at a quick glance. Imagine a map that is many times larger than previous neighborhoods, a design that resembles a modern metropolis, complete with towering skyscrapers, sprawling plazas, and a city center. And it has houses, 4 distinct boroughs that are controlled by 4 rival affiliations. So they're bringing affiliations back, something a lot of people in the 2K community have asked for. So it says here, the city is our most ambitious execution of a virtual basketball community ever. The sheer amount and variety of buildings and basketball courts that we were able to create and fit into this map still amazes me to this day. First, you got Rookieville. It says here, sitting just off the water's edge on the southern side of the city lies Rookieville Docks. Rookieville is exactly what it sounds like. This is where your NBA 2K21 city journey will begin. My players looking to dive into the city and all that it has to offer must first prove their skills amongst other rookie My players in this isolated cluster of basketball courts. Meet the requisite actions in Rookieville and the gates of the city will open before you. So that's kind of interesting because I'm not like a really good 2K player, I play it here and there. I'm not as good at it as I am at like a game like Madden. And I've always felt like the park, it's very try-hard. There's a lot of good players on the park, and, if you're a guy that plays a little more casually, you're not going to win a lot of games. That's just kind of how it goes, right? So this kind of is interesting. If you are that rookie-type player and you never really, I guess, elevate, you're going to kind of just stay back in that spot, but you'll be competing against other people that are kind of at your skill level, which I don't necessarily think is a bad idea, and then it kind of gives you maybe that motivation to kind of, get better so that you can go into the other boroughs. So speaking of the boroughs, that's what they go into next. It says, as noted above, affiliations make their long-awaited return in NBA 2K21. Each has a dedicated space in the north, south, east, and west sections of the city that we refer to as boroughs. Each borough has its own vibe and collection of basketball courts decked out with affiliation logos and colors. Additionally, each affiliation area houses a unique warehouse basketball court where your new My Player progression features await. So you have the event center. The heart of the city is the brand new event center, shining like the bright beacon. No matter which borough you view it from, equally bright and shiny. There are many different interiors and yada yada yada. So just that's another part of the city we have there. We have the garage hoops. Exploration is a major part of experience in the city. Sprinkled around the city, you will find basketball hoops attached to the side of buildings. If you look close enough, if you happen to see one, try pulling out your basketball and shooting some hoops with it. If another player passes by, sees you shooting, they will have the ability to step on the court and shoot with you. From there, you will have the option to quickly and seamlessly launch into a 1v1, 2v2, 3v3 horse, and many other game types. Its simplicity is its strong point, and as an added bonus, there are large VC multipliers you can earn on these courts each day for your first 5 games played. So again, this is kind of what I was talking about waiting to get into games. It sounds like maybe they're sprinkling in these kind of other ways to maybe quickly hop into games that, you know, they don't have to wait as long, which I'm all for. I think that's something that has always held the neighborhood back, in my opinion. You have people of the city. It says here, continuing on with the theme of exploration scattered throughout the city are quest/objective giving NPCs. If you've ever played any RPG experiences, you'll have no problem spotting them. They will be the people with colored exclamation points above their heads. Every 4 to 6 weeks, new quest objectives will be added to our people of the city, such that you will find yourself with new things to do all year long. So again, they're just kind of adding a little bit more. They're sprinkling some more in here, more things to do. You've of course got the Gatorade training facility that's making its return. You've got your special courts where you have a 4v4 or 5v5 inside the city, non-affiliated courts and stuff like that. You've got Fireball. Here it says holding court in the city is going to come with an air of prestige and the next gen version of NBA 2K21. On occasion, you will see Fireball being used on courts. Yes, literally a ball that is on fire. When your team wins 10 games in a row on affiliation courts, the ball used in your game will immediately catch fire and stay until you lose it. Expect crowds to gather around your court when this happens. You already know that everyone seeing the Fireball will be like a bat signal for the best ballers to start lining up to dethrone your reign. I think that's another cool implementation there. You've got something called the Pink Diamond Plaza, which kind of sits in the middle of the city, decked out in fluorescent lights with orchestrated music by a resident DJ. Kind of, you know, just some little extra thing going on there with my team and stuff like that. You've got the apparel stores, of course, and then you've got your affiliations. So you've got the North Side Knights, you've got the South City Vipers, the Beasts of the East, and the Western Wildcats. It says each has their own dedicated borough and set of affiliation courts with the city. Rep up to Pro 1 by winning a few games in Rookieville, and you'll be assigned to one of the 4 rival factions. If you didn't land in your affiliation of choice, you can always head to the city of the affiliation you are interested in joining and file a transfer request. The penalty for changing your affiliation is your rep level will reset all the way down to Pro 1 what you had when you graduated from Rookieville. I would encourage you to think long and hard before abandoning your team to jump ship. So that's kind of interesting. Of course, you've got your player rep, your rival day conquest, your rival day championship here. I'll have that up on the screen if you want to pause that and read it, but just trying to get through the rest of this blog because there's just so much to talk about here. Mayors, it says a brand new dynamic we're introducing as part of the city are mayors. Each affiliation will be represented by a mayor. They will be very influential in your day-to-day experience within the city. So what is a mayor and what do they do? Well, here we've got the responsibilities of the mayor. We've got affiliation videos. Mayors will be creating assorted videos during their team that will appear in-game on the Jumbotrons in the court areas. You can expect your mayor to emit rallying cries and motivate the members of the affiliations to perform at the peak of their abilities. You've got custom playlists, which mayors can create custom music playlists within their respective borough and affiliation boundaries. You've got court design. There will be events during the mayor's reign where if the affiliation comes out victorious, they will have the responsibility of designing what the courts look like for their borough. You've got mural design, pretty much just like court designs. They're gonna, design the murals as well. Uniform selection. When it comes time to formally battle the other affiliations head-to-head, the mayor will have unique opportunity to select uniforms that all members will wear as they stream onto the courts against their rivals. Now, who's going to be the mayors? Well, they've hand-selected the initial candidates, and it says, spoiler, they will be some of the biggest names from the NBA 2K community. You know all of them, so, probably YouTubers or something of that nature, big names in the community. So that'll be interesting to see how they involve, those people. So that's pretty much the gist of it. In their closing thoughts here, they said that they see the dawn of a new generation as a chance to plant their flag and showcase to the world what kind of experiences they're capable of delivering to the dedicated fan base. And that's interesting when you think of the fact that they do have that arcade football game coming next year, which they've kind of been big on that word experiences, like multiplayer online experiences. So even though it's going to be an arcade game, you can expect there is a possibility of something like a city or a neighborhood where they're bringing all this stuff together. And when they're showing what they could do in 2K, they're showing what they could do with the NFL game, you know, that always leads us back to, will the NFL open their license up to them to make an actual sim game in a few years? We don't know, but they're trying to show out here on next gen. You know, just by looking at the early parts of it, it looks like they're doing a good job. So let me know what you think below. As always, I will see you guys next time.